On August 22, 2025, what began as a joyful day trip to the breathtaking Niagara Falls ended in unimaginable tragedy. The tour bus, filled with excited passengers, was making its way back to New York City after a day of sightseeing and memories. Operated by M&Y Tour Inc., the bus was carrying 54 people when, without warning, it lost control near Pembroke, New York, and rolled violently into a ditch. The crash occurred suddenly on a clear, sunny afternoon, transforming what should have been a routine drive into a scene of chaos and confusion. Emergency crews rushed to the remote site, facing immediate challenges due to the rural location. The thruway was quickly shut down, allowing first responders to focus on rescue and recovery efforts. The bus was left severely mangled, its frame twisted and windows shattered. The single vehicle crash quickly drew attention to the company's safety record and the actions of the driver. M&Y Tour Inc., a Staten Island-based company, soon became the focus of a major investigation as authorities worked to determine what went wrong and whether negligence played a role. The incident cast a harsh spotlight on tour bus safety standards, sparking public concern and leaving families and the entire community in shock and mourning. What started as a scenic journey filled with hope and excitement ended in devastation, forever altering the lives of those on board and leaving a lasting impact on everyone touched by the tragedy. The crash claimed 5 lives, all adult passengers, in a matter of seconds. The force of the impact was devastating, leaving the scene scattered with personal belongings and shattered glass. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but for those 5 individuals, nothing could be done. Nearly everyone else on board suffered injuries, some severe, others less so, but all traumatic. The chaos and confusion in the aftermath made it difficult to immediately assess the full extent of the damage. The victims' identities were initially withheld as authorities worked to notify families, a process made even more delicate by the international nature of the passengers. Many of those on board were international tourists far from home, their families anxiously awaiting news from thousands of miles away. Most passengers weren't wearing seatbelts, which tragically contributed to the severity of their injuries, ranging from minor cuts and bruises to life-threatening trauma. The lack of seatbelt use remains a critical factor in bus accidents. The group included people from India, China, the Philippines, the Middle East, and the US, spanning all ages, from infants cradled in their parents' arms to seniors traveling in retirement. Language barriers complicated rescue and hospital care, as first responders struggled to communicate with non-English speakers, adding to the confusion and urgency of the situation. Survivors were rushed to multiple hospitals across the region. Trauma centers in Buffalo and Rochester treated dozens of patients, including children and elderly victims, working tirelessly through the night. Despite the scale of injuries, most survivors were expected to recover physically, though the emotional scars may last much longer for many. The crash tested the limits of local hospitals and emergency systems, pushing staff and resources to their limits in a matter of hours. But the community responded with swift, coordinated care. Volunteers brought supplies and strangers offered comfort to those in need. For many, a day that began with excitement and anticipation ended in tragedy, leaving behind memories of loss and a lifelong trauma that will never be forgotten. Investigators quickly ruled out mechanical failure, focusing on the driver's actions. The driver survived and admitted to being distracted just before losing control. The bus was at highway speed when the distraction led to a violent rollover. No evidence of impairment or medical emergency was found. Driver distraction became the official cause. The NTSB launched a full investigation, reviewing evidence, interviewing survivors, and examining company practices. Even a brief lapse in attention behind the wheel can have catastrophic consequences. The crash triggered a massive emergency response, mobilizing police, fire, and medical teams from across western New York. Within minutes, sirens echoed through the night as first responders raced to the scene, working together under intense pressure to save lives and secure the area. The scale of the operation was unlike anything the region had seen in years. Air ambulances landed directly on the closed highway, their crews braving difficult conditions to evacuate the most critical patients. The sight of helicopters touching down amid flashing lights underscored the urgency and gravity of the situation. Language barriers made communication challenging, but translators were quickly brought in to assist. Their presence was vital, helping responders understand victims' needs and coordinate care for people from diverse backgrounds. The local blood bank issued an urgent call for donations, and the community responded in force. Lines formed outside donation centers, as people from all walks of life stepped up to help, hoping their contribution could make a difference. A family assistance center was quickly set up in Buffalo to support survivors and relatives. Volunteers offered food, counseling, and a comforting presence, providing a lifeline for those grappling with shock and uncertainty. The response showcased the importance of training and cooperation in mass casualty events. Years of preparation and drills paid off as agencies worked seamlessly together, demonstrating professionalism and dedication. Local residents and officials rallied to provide comfort and resources to those affected. Donations of food, blankets, and other essentials poured in, reflecting the community's deep sense of solidarity. In the face of tragedy, the community's compassion and resilience shone through, reminding everyone of the strength that comes from unity and support in the darkest of times. As the investigation continues, the bus has become key evidence in understanding what went wrong. The NTSB's final report will likely lead to new safety recommendations for tour bus operators nationwide. Survivors now face a long road to recovery, both physically and emotionally, with support services in place. The international nature of the group requires coordination with foreign consulates to help families. Community leaders and officials have offered condolences and praised first responders' heroic efforts. The tragedy is a stark reminder of the importance of transportation safety and the fragility of life. The memory of those lost and the lessons learned will endure long after the highway reopens.